Spawning on the top left of Paladino Terminal is the pink Terran player playing as random. It is... Oh, I've slowed it down. Yeah, okay. The pink Terran player for Red Bloods. It is Azylis. And we have on the other side the blue Terran player for Swarm on the bottom right of Paladino Terminal. It is Grizzly. The passion is here, guys. Voice yourselves out. We have the refinery first. Oh, the Reaper frenzy is probably starting here for Azylis playing random. Surely makes you know how to play all the dirty stuff from every race, and I'm sure that we'll see some in a few moments. The barracks is planted down. Refinery just started down for Grizzly, and look at this. Scout straight off the bat, no scout for Azylis. She probably will scout with double gas. Woohoo! This is the stuff I love to see, you know. Someone picked Paladino first. Actually, I think this is one of the maps you want to get rid of, you know. Like, just I don't want to play on that one anymore. Double gas though. 10 SCVs on the mining side and 3 each gas. This is a lot though. And Grizzly will spot that and probably react out of it. Well, you know what? This is where the experience of a player that has been playing their race only, where it will show, you know. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but I understand myself. Right now, Grizzly's played more TVT than Azylis ever did, and so she knows that sort of build means specific reactions, and there we go. Factory, it doesn't miss, Azylis goes for a very aggressive 1-1-1 tactic, and we have Grizzly on the other side, taking that second gas as well, getting that first Marine out, and will we see a tech lab? We see a command center reaction, which is somehow, well, she knows that there's something coming up her face, but, well, it's sort of saying I can defend with the command center. So, first mule called down by Azylis, and I'm curious what sort of units will come down. Cyclones, Ravens, after the Starport. I'm playing Protoss. Excuse me, guys, excuse me. Reaper out versus 1 Marine. The Reaper surely wins. Second Reaper on the way. SCV is still on the way as well, and she's probably gearing up for that second command center. But there's lots of SCVs there. There's 2 SCVs on that low ground. Probably one needs to pull back. Yeah, there we go. And command center is being planted down in a few moments when the 400 minerals are being reached by Azylis as we speak of now. So I'm quite surprised. I expected something more aggressive from Azylis. She's like going Cyclone right now, but she didn't have the resources to sustain it right now because she's gone for the command center instead of going full unit. And when you go double gas, you're like, well, you know what? If I'm going for something, you better go all in with it. So the double gas tactics not being well exploited right now, but I believe with the Starport... Oh, second factory. Oh, well, I was wrong. Starport is coming. Double Reaper harassment against 2 Marines. Let's see how Grizzly reacts to that. Double Marines are still coming by for what? No, look at this. The DPS will be deciding here. If she can take 1 Marine out, and look, this is micro. As Day9 would say, if this left-hand joke and stuff, you know. Well, I can't do it right now because I can't do Day9 jokes at all. This Reaper's chasing this... Well, this Hellion chasing the Reapers back. No sustained damage at all by Grizzles. We'll still have the SCVs back in the minerals, no damage. So yeah, not even 1 Marine out, she kept that one alive. The Mule's gonna come back and look, we see the Cyclone now. Don't die, Mule, this is not your place to be. Second Mule though is bound to be in the dead, the graveyard, and we have now building only another Cyclone, but we'll see probably another tech building soon, tech unit in a short moments. Double Mule called down from that first command center, second command center morphing into an orbital command, and Grizzly cannot really harvest from that second base right now with the threat of having these Reapers and Cyclones right now. She can't really go out until she has a stronger force, and this is where it will start to show. One supply depot will be taken away for free. Grizzly has a lot of Marine, and she has a tank right now. It makes the difference. These Reapers are gonna get attacked by these Marines, and one dies in a very short time frame. This Reaper is gonna die alive. This Cyclone should pull back because they'll take insane amount of damage from the tank, and she could probably take it away, and now she can totally go, oh, you need to repair that supply depot here before it dies away. but we still have some strong harassment from Azylis here, showing that she's present in the early game. Probably puts some pressure on Grizzly's shoulders right now. She's reacting with no, starting to harvest on that second base. All these SCVs coming forward. The wall is being rebuilt here. Trump in this spirit. We have the second factory and the third factory planted down, so it's a full mech build. Second starport as well. We have tanks. We have tanks, man. We have tanks. We have lots of units coming forward. The scan seeing that there's only barracks and a few tech buildings here, so there's only one medevac building. But Grizz is now at her first attack. We still have workers similar, and how to say, the worker count is pretty similar. We have approximately the same amount of army, so let's see right now what are the possibilities for Grizzly. Will she be able to exploit the fact that her army being mobile will deal damage left and right, taking some jabs left and right, doing damage to the economy? This is what she wants right now. Or actually, as it is, defense with the mech units will matter and make another set of difference and set her in a higher lead in terms of pressure. We'll see that in a few moments as Grizzly is taking off with 8 marines of her own and just flying off to that main base, probably trying to drop in that location. So as this happens, the Viking is just crawling forward for any sort of drops that could come forward on that side of the map, so that's really well done. SCV is being mined more. What do we have on Azylis' side? Reactor Tech Lab on these two starports. What is the plan here? Liberators with range, or I'm really ignorant about TVT sometimes. So factories being planted down. Third command center for Azylis. No gas taking on this side here, and this is what you need when you play mech. You need more gases. Grizzly going forward with more marines. Another drop is coming in the smoke, unseen until Azylis will notice that the attack notification will come up on the screen. Just waiting shortly. Probably a steam upgrade here is what holds her back, but she can probably still start to deal some damage with this first batch of units. We don't have anything on the other side though. Azylis is just being very passive at her base and being like, well, I'm at home, I don't need to do anything really specially because I have tech units, I have the tech command center building. There's nothing that can really happen to me. So Raven, oh, this is where we'll see. Okay, this is seen exactly, and Grizzly says, Grizzly knows about it. Well, this is the time to go. Taking probably that first Viking out and lifting off would be the right choice here. Losing all these marines though, no, saving the medevac is more important. All these marines perish to take one Viking and damaging one cyclone. This is not worth it, but right now she doesn't have that much more options. She's probably gonna gear up for a third command center instead, and I think this is not a build order that she's pretty used to play against, since most players on TVT don't tend to go for some sort of mech like this, or from what I've seen already. But there's a lot, like, there's two sort of terrains, you know. There's the ones that are looking up after MMA, MVP and all these guys that just shined in the Heart of the Swan Wings of Liberty era, and these other terrain players that have seen Goody play with 80 AP aim and be like, well, this works. This sort of stuff works, and why bother attacking everywhere when I can defend? And this is what the mindset is right now. Double tanks, lots of marines, Hellion there, double medevacs. With this force, I don't think that the tanks, I don't think that she will be able to defeat this amount of tanks. This is where it matters the most. Probably trying to take that third base would be the most correct option here. Sieging up on that side, making sure that if she goes forward, she's probably going to take few shots before actually getting there. One shot being called down. SCV is just being taken down, and now look at this. She is sieged. She can't go forward right now. So all that she needs to do is to build up more units and even go. I think she could go for medevacs, just load them the tanks and just unload on everything and just do as much damage as possible. And there's no harassments on the other side. Grizzly is just taking the upper hand in terms of harassment here, taking more SCVs on the lead and, well, taking more damage here as it is forced to being pulled back here. Oh, this is not a right choice here. Taking a huge tank shell on the marines makes them divided by 2. This is already good damage, and, well, Azylis is somehow back, and she can just go back and try to go for a double, how to say, multi-pronged assault. And now she needs to unsiege these tanks and probably go for it. Oh no, she's gonna unload on these tanks, but these Vikings are gonna welcome the medevac very well. 4 marines died for nothing, the SCVs are going there, but there's nothing left. All the tanks died as well here, so Grizzly has all that she has left is at home with the mines, medevacs, and marines against cyclones, hellbats, and Vikings tanks. So mech army being like, I don't need to move. But Grizzly takes the third base while she denied that third from Azylis. She has to plant it down somehow back again, but she doesn't have anything to sustain with it. So this 3 marines being key here in harassment. You can't plant it down, or I will know about it. So these marines are very well located. Grizzly has information. That third being up. And we have more marines and more units on the way. Look at the macro and the supply though. Azylis is starting to get a little bit confused between all the tech buildings she has, and she's starting to gear up with more and more resources as the time flies by. 3k, and you can spend that up with either barracks or other factories, tech attacks or anything. So yeah, you can do a lot. You can save up money, go to the bank and ask for a flat with this many minerals. So tanks are on the way. Well, now this is the key that Grizzly needed to know right now. The third base is being retaken, but it means that Azylis didn't mine on it for that long, which is enough of an information to lead her to think, well, it could be another one of my time, and probably try to doom drop here. This is one of the places that are not covered by turrets or anything. The scans are missing the army, and she's probably, how to say, scared right now. And look at this. Doom drop, as I called it, probably going, oh, this could be damaging on this missile turret, probably losing one medevac, and let's just pray that it's one of the empty ones instead for her. These tanks are flying by. This first medevac here, unloading. This is doing an excellent amount of DPS here. Now it's all about taking the position in that base so that Azylis cannot go forward. And look at this, the air unit goes first. Everything's gonna perish. The Raven goes out, the double Vikings here. Nothing left to get acquainted from. And well, tell this Vikings driver, tell this Viking driver's mother that he loved his family. Everything is trying to, well, Azylis is trying to reboot it, but this tank damage is way too much already. The good unload on the tank positions here, really well done. That makes the splash damage a little bit further on these own tanks. And well, Azylis being pushed back a lot here. There's no counter push on the other side. Azylis is stuck on trying to defend that base with 83 supply against 140. Grizzly taking a very hard lead here with that harassment. Probably taking that 4th command center would be a nice and neat moment to do so. We have, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. 1 tank to defend here, only 3 bases. Well, 1 Viking here to cover the planetary fortress. We have lots of marines, we have lots of medevacs, and 1 tank double medevac, triple marauders. We have the +2 attack for the ground bio units for Grizzly, and the +2 well, for the mech units for Azylis here. Hero Marine taking out an SCV of his own, but yeah, gonna meet a little bit more. I'm just appreciating how the decision making is done nicely in that match. I gotta appreciate the way that Azylis is defending as well, really spreading far these tanks out so that nothing can come the way that Grizzly wants, and basically just, if you go forward, I'm just gonna attack you. This is what it says, and look at this, the shades being used perfectly, all the bio forces going on that tank's forces here, everything is going perfectly, sneaking in that natural. This is what she wanted, taking a position here. These 2 tanks prevents any sort of reinforcements coming from the third instead, and look at this, all these guys will perish through that tank. DPS first before reaching that bio force here. All the Vikings taking a lot of damage, the Marauders just doing the job against the mech units, and the last ones will perish here. The tanks are doing their job of holding off. 29-30 SCVs taken down. Azylis calls the GG. Grizzly takes game number 1. Spawning on the bottom left of Newkirk Precinct, it is the pink Terran again, player Azylis as random, playing for Red Bloods. And we have on the other side the blue teal Terran player for Team Swarm Squad. It is Grizzly. Up 1-0 in this best of 5. Will we see the same type of build orders that we've seen a couple minutes before? And yes, this is a refinery first, then barracks build. This is sort of interesting right now. I'm wondering, will she go one base or just go for the 2 base mech she went for in this previous game? Because it was holding the fort really well here. Grizzly couldn't pierce through and she had a lot of trouble dealing with that first mid-game stage in the game. But she had the opportunities to drop elsewhere, so that made it up in the late for her. But it was still hard to break into as Grizzly, and I'm not sure. I think that this SCV is looking for the proxy here, so yeah. If Grizzly was attentive on that SCV, she could have seen that one going down south and probably gearing up for either a couple more barracks or a factory. So let's see, just let's see. I think it's a factory here. She's waiting for it. Yep. Double gas once more. It's walled up completely. Grizzly cannot scout if there are double gases or not. So, yeah, basically, command center. Let's go for the same build once more. I've been able to hold off any sort of engagements in the first stages of the game last time, so I think I'll be fine going for a command center on the low ground once again. And this is what Grizzly is thinking right now, getting that second supply depot. As the build order flies by, we have the command center morphing into an orbital command on both sides, but we have the factory a little bit quicker here. So I'm wondering, is it going to be proxy cyclone, or will she lift that up, plant that down, and go for window mines or some stuff like this? I'm not so sure. I think it's going to be cyclones there. Oh, proxy Thor, guys, proxy Thor. This is interesting. Okay. I like this sort of stuff. No command center on the low ground. Grizzly, yes, Grizzly, can surely notice that there's something going wrong in that first stage of the game. We have no command center there, so she can't really go there because she'll get intercepted by Marines, but she needs to know that there's Marines instead of a Reaper, and we have the information there by Grizzly's Reaper getting attacked in the first few stages. These 2 Marines placed wonderfully, making the damage, taking the Reaper out. These 2 guys are suffering a little bit of bomb damage, but look at this. Starport, we have the first Thor in a few moments, right? Oh no, it's 200 gas, if I recall correctly. Second command center, we're morphing in orbital command on the way. We have the bunker here, and we have nothing else as information for Grizzly right now, but this. She doesn't know about the proxy just there, and look at this right now. We have the first Thor coming up. Starport on the way. Oh my god. I've seen... Yeah, okay. Okay, this is gonna be... yeah, totally seen. Well, this is enough of an information to tell yourself this is a Thor. Well, scouted, what can Azylis do right now? I think she just wants to stay to see that first unit, and this is the right choice. Or either just pulling back, could be saving the SCV, but I just believe that she really needs to see that first unit, even though she is totally sure that it most likely is a proxy Thor, and she'll probably confirm it in a few seconds. There we go, see the Thor. I'm like, well, this is enough of an information. I know she's gonna drop me. I know that she's having a Starport, and building 1 Thor is enough of an information to tell me, well, 2 turrets, 1 bunker, there's nothing that can happen to me. This is what Grizzly says right now. I think she just pulls, if she just pulls out the Marines and tries to reach for that one as soon as this mine is there. Oh, Viking doing the job here. That's wonderful. All the turrets being placed on time. Oh, that's okay. There's no more of these medevacs. And look at this. Pulling all the SCVs, pulling all the Marines. There's nothing this Thor can really do. And the hit and run is not successful. 1 Marine dies. 2 Marines as well. 3 Marines. But the SCVs will take care of the rest. 1 Marine survives through the DPS. No SCVs damage is done at all. Tank, what to say? The tank has been placed on Grizzly's side, and well, I'm gonna come back later with Thors, but right now it died, so I'm saving the second one and the second medevac as well. I'm not gonna bother so much. Vikings here making the difference. We have 2 bases up and running for Grizzly, and we have 1 base almost saturated for Azylis. This is a very hard situation right now to come back from. We have only 4 Marines and 1 Thor with 1 medevac. I don't think that right now she has the upper hand, and as Grizzly is going forward in the game, she's gonna have more economy, which means more production facilities. As you see right now, 2 more barracks planted down. We see the Marines going back in the bunker in case of other shenanigans. The Thor here making the difference against that Viking. I think she could still hit and run, but yeah, not gonna risk that. The high range of the Viking could be easily on par with the high range of the Thor anti-air attack here. So dropping off that Thor to deny that Viking scout is actually a good thing to do. Double racks more, no command center on the low ground. Basically, Azylis is going all in from that point on in the game. So right now, it's all Grizzly's game to try and hold what's gonna come up to her in a few moments. Call extra supply because we've been focusing on building towers and other defenses. So well, let's just take it out for now and make sure that nothing can happen anymore. These turrets are very well placed, and I don't think that she can drop anywhere near that. So yeah, all props to Grizzly for holding that off right now. And as it is now starts to build that command center, and I do believe that if she wants to come back in the game, she should have attacked really sooner than this. Getting 2 more factories here, and well, this Warren Barracks, this is a good amount of production facilities for a mech type of plan, but it's not happening. More mariners in production, and this one medevac with only 1 widow mine to try and do some damage. I think if she plants it just right there, she can be just so annoying with that one, and she's gonna have to waste a scan. Though she has 100 mana on that command center, she's gonna have to waste 1 scan to make sure that she can actually spot that little widow mine here, unless she builds a raven. Tanks still built here. This tank in the main base, making sure that nothing can harass. Every unit is safe in my base here. You can mine peacefully SCVs, do your job. Scan being thrown down by Azylis to scout Grizzly's army here, and the Widowmine planting down there. Ooh, good splash damage, taking 1 of the SCVs, and now the second scan from that main base is being called down. The 55 mana left is enough for 1 mule, and I think that right now she should morph it into an orbital command instead. So what's up? Drop? Yeah, this is the solution here. Abuse the fact that your opponent is using another set of immobile unit by using mobile units, and this is the Medevac Marine Force for you. Steam Pack has been researched, I'm not so sure about that. Nah. The +1 attack upgrade though for the Marines is there, and we have the +1 vehicle weapons for Azylis soon as well. So let's see what that drop is gonna go for here, and how many SCVs is it gonna kill. First dropping in there in this area, taking damage from the 2 turrets. 3-4 Marines only landed, but that's enough to pull all the SCVs back, wasting a little bit of mining time here. Taking that turrets will be 1 decisive takeoff for 4 Marines only. That's a good job here. I still have a couple of Marines, but we have Thors that are very slow to move around, and if she had that second medevac to just intercept with 2 widow mines, these SCVs going forth in a mineral patch, this would have been dreadful. Like, I would just Craigasm that out. It didn't happen, as more supply depots being called down. We have another supply difference at that second game. Grizzly's taking a very convincing upper hand in that mid-late game stage right now, where the 3rd command center can be actually starting to build on that 3rd location. The supply block is hurting, but that's not too much. We'll have supplies soon. Viking here spotting any sort of medevac shenanigans that could come forward, and well, there's only mules on that base. There's not much SCVs compared to a Grizzly. We have a 10 SCV difference here, and that main base is almost mined out. 4 SCVs on that gas patch. More supply being called down here, but more supply being built in general for Grizzly. Second engineering bay for the +2/+2 upgrade. We have all the mariners here with 1 bunker. She could probably save that up, just salvage everything, take all the units and go for it, because she has so many defenses in that main base that nothing can come forward and attack. So 1 marine is enough to hold that off with 4 turrets. This is the time to go right now, and this is what she decides to go for. 5 tanks, a lot of marines, 2 Vikings, and a couple medevacs. This marine is gonna go forward. Stimpack research is on the way, but it's not gonna be there on time when these armies will clash. So let us see what happens right now. Command center number 3 scanned out by a wonderful Azylis here, as she could probably brain that out though. Oh, she's planting a command center, so she's playing a little bit macro. Look at this scanning now on the army, which is sort of a sign of saying, well, you know what, I can totally attack or drop you at any time right now if I know that your army is located there. And this is one well time to go for a tank castle here. Taking one Thor for free, probably a second one if she's not careful, but taking that supply depot could also be big too. So with that Marine force dropping on that side as well, she's gonna have to defend both locations at once, so probably try to take an engagement on these tanks and Marines on that low ground, but I'm not sure this is the right way to do so. Probably have to pull down one Thor or two to deny this sort of assault with the medevac and 5 Marines. These Vikings are way enough already. Look at this. Grizzly just exploiting the fact that Azylis has lots of mech units, and look at this. 2 Marines are not gonna make the cut against 4 with the heal and probably the step back research in any moment. Vehicle plating for the mech units, but yeah, this is just right now a good denial of production for Grizzly, as she's setting herself up better in the later stages of the game. Right now Azylis is restrained on her 2 base economy and she can't do anything much because she's gonna run out of these minerals soon, so she is gonna have to attack at any moment. And that's what Grizzly is waiting for, to trade off any sort of units, because if you have a better economy, what you want to provoke are trades. And the more trades you provoke, the more you're gonna make your opponent run off of units. Good splits here on the Marines, taking only 1 of the splash damage here. No, now look at the tank DPS on these Hellbats. Just everything is perishing here. This one is very low health, 2 health back, and now 1 medevac is healing that up, but there's nothing left happening. Sends a tower to make sure that she's not gonna get dropped in the main base instead. And now 3 more medevacs full loaded of units here. I'm not sure how Azylis plans to hold that off, because she needs to attack at any moment to break the contain. She needs that, because if she doesn't, that's gonna be the point where she'll have trouble in the later stages. Like right now, staying in that position is an ensured victory for Grizzly. If she doesn't break it out, this is almost a win here. Sieging that tank up here, constraining the Terran play on 2 bases. She could probably re-siege them up around there and just take as many damages. Oh! Getting a load of damage on these medevacs, taking out everything. The Vikings are gonna perish as well. Every Thor is out. The tank DPS is too strong. The Marines on the right go from the top, coming in that natural instead. No units left at all for Azylis. Grizzly's taking such a strong lead. GG called. Grizzly takes game number 2 in this best of 5. Spawning in the bottom right. Spawning in the bottom right of Belcher Vestige. That's the 3rd game in this best of 5 where Grizzly is leading 2-0. We have the pink Protoss player for Red Bloods. It is Azylis. Grizzly says she's only prepared for the other 2, but we have on the top left of Belcher Vestige the teal Terran player for Swarm. It is Grizzly. Up 2-0 right now, and we have the gateway after. Azylis' main race is Protoss, guys. So basically playing random has her weakest races, Terran and Zerg, being played out, but she's having the Protoss equation there. I'm just filthy random, that never tells race. So basically she's not the same as you, Arctic, right? Double gas, which means dirty stuff, right? No Protoss ever goes for a Nexus after double gas. This just means aggression. And look at this pathing. Look at this. This just means... this just means there's gonna be a proxy around there. 1 gas. And now the Reaper will be key to scout out what happens in the next stages. We have this probe. I don't know yet if it's either Stargate or Robo. I would say Stargate because I think this is one of the most predictable things, and I know that Azylis likes to do proxy Stargates because she loved her Void Rays, but Oracles would be the better choice, the better pick in this Protoss versus Terran, that we'll find out in a few moments, as this Reaper is gonna come out of the base, getting that command center on the low ground. Grizzly is going for the same safe opener than before, getting that early engineering bay. This is actually smart because if it's Protoss or Terran, you will probably need this in case of dirty stuff, as I told you earlier. So yeah, it's scouted, it's totally scouted double gaze, no, it's double gas. So basically this engineering bay, it's a reaction from that double gaze. I'm just gonna losing my mind here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Why do I even say things like this? Yeah. I can't handle myself. Um, yeah, SCV going back, bunker up. Yeah, proxy Stargate being completely scouted. Grizzly just being on top of the scouting, knows that she knows well right now. There's no need for a turret here, so yeah. Good scoot. Good scoot once more. Barracks and factory. So yeah, just pump more marines, more units, and Stargate in the main base instead. This is mind games. This is mind games. And now she would want to cancel that warp gate and get the +1 air attack. That would be extra mind games. Nexus double Stargate. Wow. Mind games, guys. 2 command center saturation with the orbital command, and that natural building up will have that first target up. Will it be an oracle first? Because right now, and this is mind games, because Grizzly is like, well, I've cancelled a Stargate in the proxy location, so I don't need to worry about it anymore. And this is Void Rays, not oracles, this is Void Rays. So yeah, I feel like she's counting. Wow, actually a Nexus on the natural location after a proxy. So well, she's being like, well, she's going back to a more macro-based game right now. But it's not to take into account these 2 Stargates pumping out Void Rays all the time. So the problem with that is Void Rays are very vulnerable to 2 things on the Terran army: mines and marines. So this is what actually Grizzly is building, and I'm not sure that she scouted on the back. And now she'll see it, double Stargate and 1 Void Ray out. It just means, well, this is just the perfect information for the Terran player here. Grizzly on top of it, getting the scout information, 7 health points, and goes out of the base like a prince. This Reaper is the hero of Grizzly's day right now. Just yeah, there's nothing that she cannot know about. She just saw the 2 Stargates, she saw 1 gate, 1 Nexus. What else do you need to know right now? I think all that she needs to do is to build up more and more ruins and widow mines, and that's just the game right now. That's just the perfect reaction to have for in this stage. We have more widow mines on the way and the second factory here. As I told you guys, Void Rays are very vulnerable to widow mines and marines, and this is what Grizzly is building as we speak. Yeah, 3 probes on that gas, getting that 3rd gas. I think the build is worked up though. So you can sustain double Stargate Void Ray on 2 bases with 3 gases. If you guys want to know this sort of meta, roll safe. More marines though. I think she totally could salvage this bunker and be like, well, I can't push right now. This 1 medevac's making the job. Microing in that bunker. Look at this. Okay, I think she's gonna oh! Does she know about that? I think she's seen it. Oh, nice locations for the Widow Mines. She can't be easily scouted there. No observers. This could be dreadful already. Look at this. Look at this splash damage taking on the Void Rays. Look at them all dying to that assault. Marines are doing the job very wonderfully here, taking the last of them, and probably gonna have to drop atop or under this Void Ray to finish the job. There we go. It dies with the rest, and now there's just nothing that Azylis can do. She's gonna have to cancel that pylon out. She didn't, losing 100 more minerals and probably, well, 2 Void Rays more. Well, when you know your opponent has been doing great stuff to counter, well, she has the right composition. She has the right unit composition here. If she gets stim pack, I think she has it though. Does she? There was a pause, of course. No, she doesn't have stim pack, but it's probably going to be on the way anytime soon, as a tech lab is being planted down on that barracks here. More barracks to be pumped out. Lady Azylis having a little bit of trouble here, sustaining that production, and probably going for that 4th Nexus there. So I don't know what's up really, but right now we see a drop gearing up on the main base. Python here scouting it, and the overcharge could be called at any moment, but it's not the case. No reaction from Azylis here. A drop is very dreadful. Taking that mothership core could mean the game here, because the drop could actually mean all the deal all the damage here. And while she's attacking there, left jab on the right side, she's doing an uppercut with the rest of the marines here, taking out all the forces here will push front here, taking off with the medevac here, and probably coming back a few moments later. The Widowmine's planting down, reveal, and this is not enough. All the damage output on these air units and the adepts as well. This is nothing that right now Azylis can counter. And look at this Widowmine hit. This is awesome. Come back here, and now this is the time to shine and go in the main base instead. And now what can you do in that situation? Well, I'll tell you, there's not much. You can micro, but you have only one overcharge, so this is very restrained as a choice. You should probably call that overcharge out, and now all she has to do is to kill that pylon, really. And she doesn't. She goes back home. She doesn't want to risk anything. She's taking that third base in the meantime. We still have more oracles that could take care of the marines, but not of the Widowmines, and this is actually very dreadful. Oh no! The move command into the Widowmines, taking to a couple more adepts, and this DPS could be already the end for Azylis. There's almost no units left to hold that off. Look at this damage output from Grizzly. Widowmines are still on the way, more attacking, and we have more adepts, but well, adepts and oracles, you need to reveal with one and attack with the other. This is the only way. Oh, you have an observer. That could actually make the game too. But these guys are going to refresh. And now look at this. Attacking with one oracle is not going to be enough. Taking out the Widowmine's attack here. Azylis is such in a dire position right now. Holding that marine attack is one of the hardest things to ever do. In this sort of position right now. She does have that double stack at chrono boosted, but she doesn't have any units out of him, and now it's all the time for the jab and left and right jabs as she did earlier with the medevacs. That's a good control here from the game, from Grizzly's game right now, because well, there's not much you can do in this situation. Trying to defend with adepts, it's really tense against a good amount of marines, though she has she doesn't have the glaive I think upgrade. No, she doesn't. So basically, yeah, taking out one marine needs 3 adepts shots, and that's already a lot. So look at this, the rest of the army can come forward. We have 8 medevacs approximately, 9 medevacs, 32 marines. 32 marines against 8 adepts. As much as you like adepts and as much as the adepts deal damage, well, I can tell you that marines as a number like this will outnumber easily these adepts. So Mothership Core on the way, taking the third though. Azylis is being bold here. This is one of the only ways she can come back, by trying to outrun the production from the other player. But this is putting her at a great weakness here, because she doesn't have any units to sustain that, and she needs a splash damage to deal with this amount of marines. That's what she does with this Robotics Bay, but it's not on time right now. She has 1 immortal, and having that, oh, she takes the Observer out at the same time. This could actually be really damaging. And look at this, the Observer taken down by the Widowmines themselves. Well, this could also mean the game right now. Just a steam pack in, and this is already enough. There's so many units right now. Just pull back. This is a good choice. And now try to fight outside of the overcharge range, taking more adepts as the time flies by. Well, look at this marine force taking out all the buildings from Azylis on the natural, taking the Mothership Core with it as well. The marines are marching. GG, well played. Call. Grizzly takes game number 3, takes the best of 5 with it. Well played.